Hey, what's up? Nick here with Living Rich, and I am today going to talk about something that is really subtle and that I really don't understand quite myself, but it has helped me out in the past and a few different times, and I think I'd like to share with you. So that's about it. And the subject of that is, it's actually really hard to describe, but it's like when you want something and you don't quite know how to get there, you don't know how to achieve that thing, all the ways you think you should be doing, like probably take up too much energy or take up too much time or some shit like that. And then what you end up doing is you end up subtly like wanting to do it, but at the same time, like you're just like opening yourself up almost to like the different ways and like that it could happen. And it's almost like for lack of a better word, like you just have faith in like that direction, and no matter which way you no matter how you're at that time, you just like open it up and you just almost go like all the ways. You try out different ways in order to get there, and then eventually your mind kind of like regroups and has a more definite direction of where to go after like kind of like opening yourself up to all those different avenues in which it's possible that it comes. And so it's really like opening up all the potential ways that the world can help you out almost, and you yourself kind of just like, you don't sit back but you don't try either. So it's almost just like you're you know what you want to happen, you don't quite know how to get there, and you kind of surrender to the flow of however it's going to happen, but there still is like some sort of knowing that that's where you gotta go. You know the direction of where you gotta be, and then your mind kind of figures out how to get there. And so if this is really vague to you, it's also really vague to me, because I don't quite understand how it works. I don't quite understand why it works. I just know that it's happened before to me, and things have cleared up. I've had psoriasis, it's cleared up this way. And it's almost just like loving myself and then allowing action to come forth that changes something. And maybe I'm not in tune to like what it exactly changes, but there is some sort of subtle undertone that does, or like subtle maybe knowledge or understanding that knows what's going on, and it knows kind of like what needs to be done. And so by opening up like your preconceptions of what needs to be done, you kind of allow for those knobs in your life to be turned and adjusted to like just the right frequency and tone in order for what you want to happen. And that's what I've experienced in things that I've set out in that I didn't quite know how to get to, didn't quite know how to work, and to create a nice result from that, and then a deeper understanding of myself from there. And sometimes what happened was like I was able to figure out what I did after the fact and what was the actual lever or key. But also there's a theory that I have that almost the lever or key, or one of the levers or keys, or maybe even the biggest lever or key, is part of your brain which controls like the unconscious things in your life that you're not immediately in control of. like all the under the surface actions, like your heartbeat and your health and all that. It's almost like it's when it decides, when like that part of yourself, that deeper part of yourself decides to have something or to do something, it does it. And it makes it happen. And it figures out the best ways to make it happen. Whereas when like the top part, like when the head, like the ego part, the part that you think is in the driving wheel, or that I think is in the driving wheel, decides to make something happen, it has to really sell it. You have to sell it to yourself. You have to sell it. You have to like seduce yourself into wanting that, and like to really wanting that. And then once that happens, you figure out a way to get exactly what you want. But what I notice in myself and what I notice in other people is there's a lot of incongruency going on between upper self and deeper self. The upper self is wanting like very good things, like usually. Like they want to be rich, they want to have a healthy life, whatever. And then the lower part is actually stuck on what you're doing right now, and it's stuck on the things you're addicted to, and your habitual rhythms, your whatever, and it's actually really deeply asleep. So while at one point you think you're awake, another part of you is really deeply asleep, caught in this rhythm of comfort and discomfort. And it's almost like you have to harmonize the two, which sometimes requires you kind of like letting go of the upper wants and objectives in order to like go in and be aware of those kind of lower base wants and objectives, and kind of really suss out what it is that your body wants, what it is that you want to go towards in life, and the kind of life that you want to lead. And if there is something else that you want to do, you have to sell it to yourself. You have to sell it to your body. You have to sell those changes and like the new life to yourself, which is a weird concept, because you think like if you want something, you want something, but that requires a person to be in complete harmony with themselves. And if you're not in complete harmony with yourselves, you wanting something will just be another pull in a different direction in like a mess that's already going on, because it's disharmonized. So the objective is to be congruent within yourself, to harmonize your upper and your lower desires and wants, and really, really live off your lower desires. I know that sounds funny to say, but your deeper, let's go deeper desires, and then mold those the best you can, because those are the ones that come true. I mean, if you think about it, we desire sleep, so we fall asleep. If we desire coffee because our body wants it or our mind wants it, we go out and get coffee. But it really is like a desire. Like we figure out how to get our desires. Our wants, however, like our surface level wants, it's just something that we kind of use to entertain ourselves. But in the case that we really, really, really do want those things in our life, I think we have to sell them to ourselves. I think we have to go that extra step. We have to make the case for them, and then really feel that we want them in our lives. Otherwise, our body's not going to know any different. It's just going to think it's a passing whim and fancy, and we're going to just keep doing what we've been doing for the past however long we've been doing it, and then into the future till it changes or till we can't do it anymore. So that's my video for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below, give me a call, shoot me a text, whatever. or basically just comment below. All right, have a good day now.